I'm in Darlington and I'm with the original African YouTube star, local celebrity, and tell me a bit about when you were growing up.
Alright, so obviously I was born in Zimbabwe, so growing up for me was a bit different back there than it was here, because obviously I've lived sort of like two childhoods, because like I was held back a year obviously because I was still new to the country. But in Zimbabwe, obviously the government, Mugabe's obviously made the country run down. I don't know if he was a good president or bad president. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know about politics, but it was different growing up there because the streets are like so covered in dust. We don't have regular cleaning system, and it's gotten even to the point where we have to get a drink, you buy them in bottles, you have to bring in a bottle to get another bottle, so it's sort of like a recycling system. And also growing up there, obviously going to school, like we didn't really have many pairs of shoes, so a lot of us would go either barefooted or with one pair of shoes, and normally would get a pair of shoes for Christmas. If you were lucky, you'd also get a shoe box, and yes, I did receive a shoe box when I was younger. A lot of people don't believe me, but I generally did. And obviously, so you guys know, shoe boxes aren't a waste of time. They are generally going to a good cause, and they do affect real people just like me. And growing up there also is so different, as you have to start working from a young age, obviously, because back there it's not all about, you don't have much free time. It's always about making money, because there's not much money to go around, and it's just so hard to survive. So obviously from a young age you have to be helping your parents with the gardening. You have to like walk miles. Like when I went back in the summer, I saw a kid as young as, I think she was about 6, 7, carrying wood across the motorway, walking home with her mum, obviously to bring the firewood home. And it's one of the stuff that I had to experience. I had to go collect firewood, I had to help with the gardens, because obviously when your parents are working, you have to help as well to get you in the right mindset of survival. And I feel like that's why I'm very self-independent already. And just everything's just so different. The schools are different, you have to pay for them. So if your parents couldn't afford to pay for school, you wouldn't get the right education, and obviously you know what that would lead to: drugs. Like there's a big drug problem there, and I feel like they need to start making education free in them countries. But I was lucky enough, obviously my grandma, she ran her own school at her house, a little nursery, so that she could afford to pay for my fees to go to school. And obviously I came to the UK. It's a great city, it's totally different life. Like everyone's made me feel welcome. I grew up here, I've made loads of friends, different races, white, black, Asian, and I feel like the connection here is so different in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe there's no white people. Like I did not see a single white person when I was younger. You'd probably see them every now and then, but it was like very rare, and like you would be like, whoa, you know what I mean? But here it's so diverse, and it's so much like better. Obviously we get free education and just everything here. There's more opportunities here. Back there I couldn't become a YouTuber like I wanted to be now, because we didn't really have internet like that to be going roaming. The phones were different, there wasn't signal everywhere. And the worst thing about it was we only got water once a week on Friday. So obviously my grandma, her and like her husband, they dug a well where they could collect as much water as they could on a Friday, so that when we were no longer getting water through the week, she would have water, and she would give out water to like the local residents as well. So I respect my grandma for that. And obviously she's passed away, rest in peace to my grandma. And obviously that hit our family hard. And it's just like growing up in Zimbabwe, I feel like the country drained that, because you just have to constantly work. From as soon as you can learn to talk, like function, that's when things get serious. So it's so different growing up there than it was here.
Now, since you've been here in England, have you faced racism?
Yes, I have. Obviously it's one of them things that you can't escape. So first of all, I've faced it when I was younger. Obviously I was different. I would get called a monkey, black cunt, so and so. As some people, it's the way they were brought up, and I don't get angry at people because I understand it's wrong, but people were raised that way, and if that's the way you are in your mindset, that's the way you'll be. Obviously they need to be educated and taught, but there's nothing you can do. You've just got to get on with it. It used to really affect me back then, because I felt like I was different, I felt like I didn't fit in. But now racism doesn't really affect me that much, because I've realized it's gonna happen. It's just like people hating on you, it's just the way it is. And then also I've experienced racism within my YouTube and social media, like posts. Like I get people, obviously, you know, you get loads of internet trolls. They'll just come comment for no reason, nigger, black cunt, this, that. And then the recent incident I've had is with this guy who I'm not going to name because we've came to common ground now, but obviously there was a video I posted. He didn't like and he told me to remove it, and I was like, okay, I'll remove it. But he also sent me a voice note which was very racist. He was calling me a black cunt. He's gonna say I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna bury you, I'm gonna burn your skin. Oh wait, I can't because it's already burned. And at first I was like, these vulgar words, but right now I'm at that stage now where anyone hating on me, they're watching my content, so I'll thank you in that sense. And I've realized it's better not to retaliate, because when you retaliate, you give them the response they want. But if you don't retaliate, you keep doing your thing and you're still gonna shine. Like, it's probably like 1 out of 1,000. So if any racists are out there, like, please stop it. But if people are gonna be racist to you, I just say just ignore it, because it's not gonna ruin your career. It is what it is.
Now, from what you just said there, I need to tell you this, and I tell this to everybody that has faced racism. The police have got a big thing going. It might be so little to you, but please report it. Now, going away from racism, you've got a film coming out. Tell us more about that.
Alright, so obviously I've landed a role in a film which has already been released in France. It's called Sorry We Missed You by Ken Loach. The film is like a big film. It's amazing. It's my first ever, you know, real film, which is going to be in the cinemas, hopefully in the UK soon, but it's being released in France at the moment, and then obviously it's going to come down here, so I'm waiting for that. And the experience of that was just so great. You know, you get to meet like professional directors, you get to work with them, and like, I'm not gonna lie, Ken Loach is a lovely director. Like, he's not them type of directors who are looking for Hollywood actors who's trying to create something that's not realistic. He makes something real. Ken Loach, like, the cast he chooses people who have either experienced these things, people who fit the role, and that's one thing I respect a lot about Ken Loach. And he's a director who lets you have your own interpretation. He'll give you obviously the building blocks and then let you do your own interpretation on that. And I felt like it was just a great experience working on the set. Everyone was lovely, from the camera crew, sound crew, just everyone. It felt like I was part of a family. And obviously, like, it was just a great experience, and I just can't wait for the film to come out and go watch it in cinema and see myself on the big screen. Also, shout out to my friend Reese Stone. He got a main role, so he's currently in France right now doing interviews and that. I bet he's buzzing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so proud of him. He's came so far. He's been through a lot, his family, and that's why one reason as well I respect him. It showed that it doesn't matter where you've come from, it's about where you want to go ahead. You know what I mean? You can have the worst upbringing in life and you could still end up as a star, and that's one thing I respect Reese about. Like, he's never given up. The world has came hard on him. Even myself, there was times I was hard on him, because obviously we got a big pay for this film, like bigger than we've ever seen before. So obviously when you get paid this money, you just want to spend it, because we're still young, spend it. So I had to go at him, don't spend your money. And then now he's got his head straight, and hopefully his acting career can blow. Mass respect for Reese Stone as well.
Now, you just said massive respect for Reese Stone. What are you talking about?
Oh,
You're in Darlington with North East News having an interview. That's more better than going to France, don't you think?
yeah, true. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, obviously Darlington is a city of dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've just done a video here, and everyone's so friendly, everyone's so lovely. So Reese, maybe you're the one who's jealous. Maybe you on here with North East News down in Darlington. Like, mass respect to you as well. You run this by yourself, and I understand how hard it is to run something by yourself, because you do all your editing, all your filming, and it's hard to do all that by yourself. So mass respect to you for that. And like, I like your grind, and hopefully, obviously, I wish you the best as well. I want you to be successful, and it's great that we've met each other now, because I like building like great connections with loads of different people. So when I blow, my people grow. You know what I mean? So like, thank you for this opportunity, and if obviously anything I can help you out, I will do. Now, to be fair, Darlington, great city. Clock Tower is beautiful, and that little waterfall on the stones, I don't know what that's called, but that's snazzy, you know what I mean? Like, that's snazzy, I like that.
Do you not have things like that up in Newcastle?
In Newcastle, we do have some. We've got Monument, we've got the Alan Shearer statue, we've got St James's Park. Like, I love that park, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a total different atmosphere. They have a big plasma screen TV, and obviously just the football club. Newcastle is very different, like down here at Teesside area, because obviously I'm in Hartlepool, Stockton, sometimes Middlesbrough. And like, Newcastle is like, the city is so alive from day till night, you know what I mean? Like, nighttime, the nightlife is massive, probably one of the biggest in the world. So over here especially in the Hartlepool, once it starts hitting late hours, it slowly starts to die down. There is a bit of a nightlife, but it's not big enough. But I feel like cities like this are upcoming, because even with YouTube, when I moved to Hartlepool, I don't think there's any other big YouTuber, but there are a big TikTok group called the Gay Corner Lads, who do a TikTok group, and they just do little funny videos, and they have over 100, I think they might have hit 100,000 on TikTok, or was it 1,000,000? I'm not sure, it's 100,000 or 1,000,000, but they have done bits, and I'm so proud of them as well. They've hit 100,000 on Instagram though, I know that, and like, you know what I mean, I hope to hit them numbers soon as well. And it's just showing that you don't need to be famous to do this, you know what I mean? A group of lads who just decided to work together have started doing their thing together, and they've now hitting crazy numbers. They've got their own fans. They did a meet and greet in Newcastle, and I met them by coincidence on a train, and it's great meeting other content creators. So if you're out there and you ever want to collab with me, I'm open. It doesn't matter how big or small you are, because I understand I've started down here, and even when I'm up there, I'll still remember where I came from.
Now, since you've moved to this country, I just want to say, and I hope you show this to your mum, she needs to be so respectful of you, what you've done, what you've gone through. And when you said earlier about the shoeboxes, I'll tell you truthfully, I was a bit reluctant at where they went, but I'm glad they do get to the kids. And that's me, Aaron Jack, Editor-in-Chief in Darlington.